Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for ICONversations. The ICON program is designed to celebrate our company's top producers. These agents have not only exceeded capping status, but have also reached exceptional milestones, earning them various stock grants and the opportunity to earn back their paid company dollar. From Florida, we have Carla James. From California, we have Gisela Sanchez. From New Hampshire, we have Donald Godreau. From Florida as well, we have Oscar Roglia. And our moderator today from Ontario is Vinod Bansal. Vinod, take it away.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to today's iConversations. I am Vinod Bansal from Ontario, Canada, and I'm truly excited and honored to be your moderator today. And let me tell you one thing, iConversation is all about learning from the very best in our company, as Brian said, agents who are not only producing the highest level, but also contributing back to our incredible community. And today we have an amazing panel of ICON agents who will be sharing their journeys, strategies, challenges, and wins, all with the goal of helping you grow your business and mindset. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to our panelists today. I'll start with Oscar, Donald, Gisela, Carla. Welcome to today's show. And let's begin today's journey. And we'll start with your introduction. Where are you from? How long you have been with EXP? And how many times have you achieved ICON status? Let's go. And we'll start with Oscar.
Hi guys, this is Carla Jaimes. I'm from Miami, Florida. I've been with EXP since 2020. I actually achieved ICON status last year in 2024. I had been capping in the last 3 years, but not achieving the ICON status. So it was very exciting for me to achieve that recognition last year and hopefully working towards this year as well. Excited to be here.
Awesome. Great. Welcome, Carla, and let's go with Gisela.
Hi there, I'm Gisela Sanchez. I'm in Southern California in the Imperial Valley. And I've been with EXP since, I want to say 6 years, and an active real estate agent since 2006. I have been an ICON agent. This is my first year becoming an ICON agent. I was super excited because you know what? It's not an easy goal to make when your average price is about $375,000. So it took a lot of sweat equity. I also have a podcast called Women Who Win in Real Estate, and I'm a mother of 2 beautiful children and a wife to my amazing husband. We also flip properties and purchase them ourselves as investors. So yeah, that's me.
Welcome, Gisela. That's great.
Thank you.
Let's welcome Donald.
Hello, this is Don Goodrow from rainy New Hampshire. We're about to experience our 13th rainy Saturday in a row, which is a new record.
Wow.
And I've been with EXP 8 years. I've capped every year, and last year was the first time I've hit ICON. So I got into the business March of 2003, so 22 years. So you don't have to be young to go ICON, or you don't have to be old.
Great. Awesome. Congratulations, Donald. That's great.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, Oscar.
I don't think Oscar's with us today. It doesn't seem that he's here.
Is it? Okay. All right. Okay, so no problem. So thank you very much, guys, for giving your introduction. And as myself, I'm Vinod Bansal in real estate since 2012. And I joined EXP in 2021 April. And this is just, I completed my 4 years. So 4 years, I've been ICON agent every year with God's blessing and everybody's hard work. And I have a team of around 25 agents. We work in Ontario, Canada. And this is a great journey, I believe. So that's about me. Thank you very much once again to our panelists, Carla, Gisela, and Donald. So let's start with today's questions. It's not scripted at all. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. But we'll start our main questions. The first question, which is to Carla, what are you seeing in your local market right now that other agents across the country should be paying attention to? Because a lot of things are going on. So what would you like to say on this?
Miami is still right now a very, I would say, like active market. We get influence, at least Miami, from not only local buyers, but a lot of influence from international buyers, which is also one of the areas that I focus on. Latin America, Europeans investing actually in Miami. And that's also, kind of carries away with, the amount of product that we have in the market. We not only have single family homes, we have a lot of condominiums, new constructions that are happening right now. So what I'm seeing in our market is that several buyers are going or leaning more towards new construction. One, because of the rates. We're seeing that obviously this year or in the last couple of years, rates are high. So a lot of them are trying to buy pre-construction and wait it out until, the delivery of the unit or the property later on, and hoping for lower rates. So that's something that we're seeing now. Another thing that I wanted to add was also condominium laws obviously has changed and impacted Miami a lot. So we're seeing a lot of people that maybe would not consider condos in the past. There's a lot of deals to be made on those condos now because, there's a lot of barriers for entry, and only those that are very savvy, are going to take advantage of those deals that could potentially happen on the condo market. So that's a little bit of what's happening in Miami.
Awesome, Carla. So I would like to just ask one question here. So how much is the average time of property to get sold in your marketplace?
On the condo market resale, we are seeing anywhere between 4 to 5 months. And that's just because there's a lot of, special assessments that are taking place. There's a lot of inventory sitting on the market on the condo side. On the single family side, a lot less inventory. So anywhere between maybe
Sorry, Carla.
Hello?
Yeah, your voice was lost. Yeah, go ahead, please. Hey, Carla, can you hear it? Oh, okay. So I think we'll move over to Gisela. Can you hear me, Gisela?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
All right. Okay. Let's ask the same question. What are you seeing in your local market right now, and what would you, like other agents to pay their attention to? Because you are by yourself, property flipper. So what would you like to add here?
Sure. We're seeing that properties are starting to stay longer on the market. So with us, we have an average time frame of about 45 days on the market. And there's not a lot of inventory still, but we're seeing that buyers are taking their time. Unfortunately, the news does not help. When they watch news, there's a lot of negative news on there. So it kind of just paints the picture the way that we don't want to see it. But we are seeing that it is becoming more of a more of a buyer's market. In the past, we saw that it was more of a seller's market. And then I started to see like, oh no, it's a little bit of give and take type of market where the buyers are able to negotiate and the sellers are able to also negotiate. But now we're starting to see, hey, you know what? The buyers have most of the control now. They're able to ask for about $10,000 for credit. The buyer's agent has no problem with asking for their concessions to get paid. Repairs are being made. If a property does not want to honor any of those things, then you're going to see those properties sitting on the market longer. And that's unfortunate. So that's what we're starting to say. I'm also seeing as a listing agent, because that's the majority of what I do. I see that I have to be super aggressive. I mean, I've always done video. I've always done professional photos, but I have to just, once I do the video, I'm using that video like a commercial. I'm using it all the time to the point that if people get tired of seeing my ads, oh, well, this is our business. This is what we're supposed to do. So that's the one thing that I do like about it. But it does take a lot more massaging through the market. And it's only going to allow us as listing agents become more well-known as a true professional, because we actually have to market ourselves more.
Right. Awesome. That's great. You said a very good point, Carla, and I agree to that one, that you have to get in front of as many as eyeballs you can, and you should be not in people's just in front of their eyes, but in their brain as well, right?
Yes, yeah, you need to be in front of people all the time, all the time. And what I'm doing, I'm not using paper mail. I'm not using postcards. I'm just doing social media, Google. I'm doing every which way that I could meet every person as much as possible. I could go into that in detail later.
Oh, sure. Thank you very much. That's great. All right. So same question to you, Donald. What are you seeing in your marketplace right now, and that other agents across the country should be paying attention? So what would you like to add?
Well, we're out here in rural New Hampshire, which really is technically Boston North now, because the average home in the Boston region is probably like 2 million, and you can get something similar in southern New Hampshire for around, well, the average sale price right now is $540,000, which is an all-time high.
Okay.
But they can range up to 1-2 million, for the larger estate-looking homes. So we have a limited inventory. What we had is, it seems like we're kind of like squeezing new buyers out of the market, because between rates and you have to make like $200,000 to buy the average home.
Right.
And so we're seeing that we're kind of squeezing them out. We're seeing a lot of people coming in from other states, and we're seeing people like moving up and moving down, buyers and sellers. But there was a time there. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Donald, please. Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of, what we're seeing now is, because of the limited inventory, there's not enough inventory to go around, even though young people aren't really pulling the trigger yet. So what we're seeing is a lot of these towns in New Hampshire are putting up work fair housing and creating like large apartment complexes. So for the future growth, because we're really attracting a lot of people to come to New Hampshire.
So thank you very much. So basically, there are more buyers in your marketplace than sellers, I believe.
Oh, absolutely. When in the heyday, like before the rates doubled, we would see, like up to 20, 30, 40 offers on a property. And now, and they'd blow out, in one weekend, it would be listed Thursday, come to the Friday, Saturday, Sunday open house, and then all offers due in by Monday at 5. And so we're not seeing as much as that right now. Now we're seeing them sit on the market for like 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Donald, for your input. I really appreciate that. All right, guys. So I'll just share my, few words on this, that we are in Ontario. We are like in the Toronto area. So basically it's a pretty much pure buyer's market is going on. So we have a lot of inventory. Houses are sitting on the market for good 2 to 3 months. And this has been happening from last, I believe, almost 2 years now. So this is kind of insane point where people, they have to sell the properties lower than the market value as well. But this is a great time for buyers, I believe, because rates, bank interest rates, they are super down, right? Where we were earlier in 2024, and a lot of inventory is there, a lot of houses are available. But here it takes almost 30 to 40 days average to sell a house. But again, the average house in Toronto area and in and around is almost still $1 million. And as Donald was saying, that it's very hard for people to kind of get approved for the mortgage. And affordability is again all-time low, because we recently got our unemployment report for Canada, so it is at 7%. So basically, we are in a transition phase. A lot of things are going on, but I believe still that transactions are happening, but we have to be more focused and we have to be more, into the market as we at this time we are working. I would say 3 times more as we used to work to have one transaction done. So that's in our marketplace. So if anybody is from Ontario and Canada, I would definitely say that please, have your positive mindset. That is the main thing. Your attitude decides your altitude. So I'm in business almost 12 years. So 4-time icon. So I do my work every single day, what I suppose to be doing. So that is the thing which every agent should be doing. And yes, read some positive news instead of all the time negative news. So yeah, so this is all about our marketplace. All right. So let's go with our, second question. So we'll start with Donald because you hit your icon recently. So I would like to ask this question. What was the turning point in your real estate journey that helped you break through to icon status? Because a lot of people, a lot of our community, a lot of our agents, they want to know how did you achieve it? What was the turning point? Donald, please go ahead.
This seems like an oversimplification, but I'm on my computer and or phone like all the time. I get up at 6, I'm right on the computer, and it doesn't get turned off till 10 at night. So I'm either generating new leads, following up, going back over people with CMAs, and I have like 8 solid lead sources that are always flowing in. So for the new people, I would recommend you try to get up to at least 8 separate and distinct different lead sources coming in so that if you lose 1 or 2, you still have 6 for backup.
All right. Yeah, please go ahead. So you said that 8 different lead sources. I'm making my notes as well. So, yes. I mean, if you just want to say like those 8 sources, so that could help, a lot of our agents.
Oh, sure. You can do like, get on all the free stuff like Yahoo as an agent, Realtor as an agent, Homes as an agent. Mm-hmm. And then, Zillow as an agent, and get onto all the different sites like that. Respond to different things. Like even if you don't believe in those companies like Redfin or other, there's ways you can still attract potential clients through them.
Right.
Yep. And so I agree with the other panelists that I don't do that much in print ads, although I have taken out an opportunity to get my face plastered on shopping bags at a local shopping center. So it was short money, and I know it's a shot in the dark, but they're going to print 2,800 bags. And if I get 1 lead out of that, I've made my $800 back.
Awesome. That is really great. So, you again have to be a little creative as well, because as we all agree to this point that now the print media that works, but still you have to be creative these days. And for that creativity, I believe, as you just mentioned, that we have to be in front of our, computer. There are main different resources from where we can generate more leads. More leads is equal to more transactions. So very well said, Donald. Thanks a lot. So now I would like to ask the same question to Gisela. What was the turning point? How, would you like to add here that you hit the icon status? What is the main turning point? How did you do that? Right. That
sure,
is new agents,
That's actually a big question. And I have a personal response for that. For me, it was really letting go of some team agents that were just taking up my time. I have the heart to serve. I have the heart to lead and to help other people in their real estate business. And unfortunately, I cared more about their business than I think they did at one point. And so when you're constantly trying to help others and they just don't have the motive or it's just not a right fit, it will take away from your own business. So the moment that I actually said, okay, God, I really need you to take over, he really removed the people immediately that I did not need in my team. And I was able to really focus more on my own production. I was producing already, but I wasn't producing enough. I would always just barely miss the icon status, and it always got to me. And so finally, when I had nobody that I had to really um, pour into, although I still have a team, but my team's very small and it's a totally different dynamic. Now I can't tell you, but I have more business than I ever had. And it really comes down to, like, what are you spending your time into? Are you giving your time to agents who are not going to reciprocate that? And if you are, then you have to tell yourself, do I really want to be a team leader? Or do I just want to pour into maybe 2 or 3 people at the max that are hungry, but at the same time, you're not babysitting them? So that was the pivotal change in my business that I had to do, was let go. And the moment I did, I had so much weight lifted off me that I was able to fly. And that was awesome.
Great. I made my notes for this, Gisela, because I believe this is a very, very good point. We can help those who really needs our help. Basically, we can't help everybody, right? So
we can't.
Yeah. So
and sometimes we want it more than they do. Sometimes we're like, but I could see you. I could see you doing this. I can see you doing that. But then you're waiting for them to show up at the appointments or the meetings, and they don't show up. And you're like, okay, I could have been doing something else in my business. So, as a businesswoman, I had to really say, okay, you know what? It's not personal. It's business. I have to keep going. And, I've been thriving, and now I'm attracting other agents that want to do well, but I'm very careful with who I let into my circle, because I have to protect that. We have our family that we want to pour into first of all, and then our business in that.
Great, Gisela. Thank you very much. So we have our panelist, Oscar. Due to some technical difficulties, he was not able to turn on his mic. Welcome, Oscar. So please introduce yourself.
Hey, Vinod, how are you?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
Good, brother. Good. So yeah, real quick, guys. I know I got in here a little late. My name is Oscar Roliga. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I'm currently in Cape Coral as well. So I work both markets, pretty much Southeast, Southwest Florida. I've been with EXP for a year and a couple months. We were blessed to hit Icon in March of this year. And pretty much to jump into the question, what's one discipline that I've stuck to throughout my entire business? I know it's only been a little bit over a year, but one discipline that I've always stuck to is just listening to positive teachers, coaches, mentors. There's a lot of negativity. I believe it was Gisela that had mentioned earlier that there's a lot of negativity out in the news, and there's just so many uncontrollable things that are happening that may try to subconsciously make us think in a negative manner. So I'm always constantly looking for positives. I'm always looking for gratitude in all areas, and I'm just thankful for this opportunity to even be here on stage and sharing my successes with everybody who's listening. Just think positive. I know sometimes this world can be a little bit tough and things might not go your way, but persistence always wears out resistance. Think positive, do the right thing, and everything will always come back in the same manner you put it out.
Great. Very well said, Oscar. Thank you very much for your introduction and kind words of wisdom. It's really great. I believe the same thing. Positivity brings productivity, so which is great. All right, awesome. So I think Carla is back. So Carla, it's the same question to you. What was the turning point in your real estate journey that helped you break through this beautiful icon status?
Definitely consistent prospecting. And I think, sometimes depending on how the market goes, sometimes we can get a little lazy, on doing what we need to do. But as long as we're doing our activities every day, that being, however you do prospecting, if you're doing, you're connecting with clients, past clients, referrals. I personally do a lot of Facebook ads, and I've been consistently doing them, for different type of markets, like international or even local. And sometimes they're not all winners, but when you do have the winners, then they bring even more referrals to your base. So staying consistent in this market, particularly, I think we do need to get very creative, because when everybody's doing the same, you want to definitely create, a difference, right? Create a differentiation in the market. So nowadays, if I'm not just doing ads, I'm trying to do like little pop-up events, maybe workshops, to get closer to the buyer, or the seller. Just because, as everybody else was saying, there's so many news, right? So many negative things going around that more than likely our clients are listening to it, right? Or the potential buyers listening to it. So I feel like, going from an online, world to just being in front of the client and making those spaces available, really help us connect with that potential client. So definitely staying creative, especially in this market.
Right. Awesome. Thank you very much. So, yeah, so it's the same thing which all of our panelists, they said that for me as well, as I mentioned, that from the day one, I kind of remain consistent all the time. So I believe small daily improvements are the key to staggering long-term results. So basically, we have to do every day a small thing. I would just say, in my previous brokerage, my all social media and everything was graphics. But when I joined EXP, I got my mentor coach. So he said one thing to me: you got to be in front of the camera. I said, I'm a shy person. He said, either you do it today or you do it after 5 years. So you got to do it, and you have to be creative. And that day until today, I try to be in front of my camera every single day, no matter what. So I try to be consistent, but that consistency brings a lot of creativity, and that creativity brings lots and lots of productivity. So this is the same thing, guys. So whosoever is listening to this, please be consistent. All right, that was from my side, and now I'll move on to the next question. This from my side, because a lot of our agents are listening to this. So I will start with Gisela. If you had to start over today with no database or leads, what would be your first 3 steps to build your business? Let's go.
Oh, right. I would start with my Google My Business page.
Okay.
And I would start there. If I had to start brand new with nothing, I would start there. I'd create my Google My Business profile, and I would start asking for 5-star reviews from everybody that I know that likes me and loves me. Number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, and I would treat Google like I treat my Facebook and Instagram. I would post everything in there that has to do with real estate. Number 2, what I would do, I would create my Facebook page and my Instagram page, and I would link them together. So anything that I post on Instagram or on Facebook, it automatically feeds the other one. And I would post video content all the time and real estate content. When I got into real estate 19 years ago, obviously we didn't have Facebook or Instagram, but that's what I would have done anyways. And number 3, I would just go and connect with everybody that I know, which is what I did now. My business right now, it flourishes because of referrals. I don't prospect. Not one day do I ever prospect on the phone calls. I do follow-ups. I call people that come to my open houses. I call people that have reached out to me saying that they want to sell because they got in touch with me online through my social media paths or however they got in touch with me. But I would always follow up with people, but I don't do any prospecting. I don't do any cold calling. And I don't pay other companies like Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com for leads.
That is awesome. I made my all the notes because this is really, I would say phenomenal because
Awesome.
Google business page is must. And then you said that your Facebook, Instagram, it should be linked and you should be posting, real estate content on these platforms with consistency. That is amazing. And third, and this is, I believe as well, actually, I'm over 12 years in business now. So I do not do cold calling. I'm saying, but I do with all these things, referrals, follow-ups, and the people who have interacted with me on my social media platforms. And I always say fortune is in the follow-up, right?
That's right. That's right. And I'll kick myself if I find out later on that someone sold their property, and shame on me for not following up. That just costed my family $10,000, if not more.
Wow.
And that hurts.
That hurts. Very nice. Very nice. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate this. Is amazing. Right. Okay. So let's ask the same question to Donald. If you had to start over today with no database or leads, so what are the 3 steps to rebuild your business?
Well, there's a whole new world from when I started. We had a flip phone and a laptop and an atlas to go find the streets. So we've come a long way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would say I would go literally, if I didn't know a lot of people, I would go door to door knocking and leaving like the little, how you can get the little packets, like maybe some candies or something. And you can leave that there with all your information. You could potentially, for a small investment, you might be able to rustle up some people that way. You could also, and I know we talked about print ads that they don't work, but in some communities, there's a small circular paper that goes out once a month or once a quarter, and you can get a nice business size business card for about $50 a quarter. So that's real cheap investment to get your name out there. Awesome. Which really leads me into branding. You basically are branding yourself and your company brand. And when they see that, first time they go, I don't know you. Second time they go, oh, I think I know them. Third time, oh, we're friends. Fourth time, they want to be on your Christmas card list.
Right. Awesome.
So that's important. And then also work your name. One thing people miss is you have to work your initial name list. And if you're new to your community, write down butcher, and then you get back to the butcher and start a conversation. But start writing down, do I know a nurse, a butcher, a taxi driver, whatever, and start writing them all down and then figure out how to contact them.
Awesome. That is great. Yeah, amazing. I mean, if anybody has to start today, again, these points are really, really good points. Door to door, print advertisements on community newspapers, and go with all this list. Name those people, you know them, and start contacting them. Amazing, Donald. Amazing. Thanks a lot, my friend. Really appreciate that. All right.
Donald, I thought you were going to say to sign up on those lead generating pages that you shared about.
Yeah, you could do that.
Right. Amazing.
I'm old school, but I everything connects back to new school, which is really belly to belly.
Yeah, so we have to mix these things as I'm in business 12 years, so 13 years. But at that time, this social media was not a big thing. But these days, we need to learn. So we have to adapt with these changes happening all the time. And now this AI is coming in. So we need to learn that as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Same question goes to Carla, if you can hear us.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so a couple of things. The first thing that I would do I wish I would have done that earlier when I first started, was to grab my phone, create a what I call like a project 250, and just start calling 250 people that are on my phone that I already know, and just let them know that, you know, I'm in real estate now, that if they are looking to potentially, you know, buy or rent, or if they know somebody that needs to buy or sell, you know, to create that introduction, you know, and just connect with people, right? In the past, I didn't think about doing that, but really, when we think about it, like our biggest list that we have available is already on our phone. And it's free. You don't have to pay extra. It's just there. We just need to create that connection and that introduction, and go from there. And I have seen by doing that, that I've been able to create leads from there that sometimes weren't even the person that I had on my list, but they introduced me to somebody else, and it created there a connection. So definitely, you know, maximize our contacts on our phone. And number two, I would definitely walk my neighborhood. You know, I would definitely walk my neighborhood, go around and knock doors, and, you know, introduce yourself, let them know what you're doing now. You know, a lot of people like to work with people from their own neighborhood, especially because you know it very well, you know, and they know that you're going to be able to present it, especially on a listing, because you live there. So definitely walking the neighborhood. I agree with Donald, maybe printing something of value, you know, that you could actually share, because not only you want to introduce yourself, but you want to give value every time you meet somebody. And even, you know, being a CMA, you know, just showing, you know, the most recently sold homes, that creates value and people appreciate that. And then third, if, you know, if the online social media world wasn't there, but we were starting to do it again, I would jump on it quicker. Like definitely jumping quicker on it, and, you know, trying to start creating a personal brand. Like, who are you? You know, who is Carla? You know, what do I do? What do I stand for? What are my values? You know, and just actively sharing that, because I think somebody said it earlier. You know, people connect with you, you know, with who you are, you know, what you stand for. And that's our unique differentiator, you know, because we're not all equal. And I do believe that there is enough for everyone, because of how unique we are. So we have to stand by that, and, you know, start creating that value from our personal brand.
Awesome, awesome. That is great. So, Project 250. That is great, guys. Please make these notes, because, I mean, that doesn't cost you anything. But believe me, if you call those 250 people in your database, you know, you'll get your initial deals done for sure, right? So that is great. And walk your neighborhood. That is again a very, very, you know, it's important. Right. Okay. Great. All right, Oscar, what would you like to add, my friend?
Hey, Vince, I just want to say a lot of great points were being made today. But if I were to start all over, network is net worth, right? So, how strong is your database? And if it's not strong, then you need to communicate more. You need to get out of your comfort zone. I know you said you've been in business for a long time, so you don't have to cold call. But somebody like myself, my mentor, Ricky Caruth, I follow him, and he's taught me how to communicate effectively over the phone, how to be a servant. And so I would say that the first thing, kind of to piggyback off of what Gisela just said, was I would start off with a 100-person contact list, and I would start with the first 10. The thing is, we got to get comfortable, and the first 10 are a lot more easier than the next 90. So if we could get comfortable with making calls to the first 10, and I use this method, it's called the favor, help, try method. Pretty much, it's very simple. All it says is like, hey, I need a huge favor, Vinod. And it's not money. And guess what happens? They're going to laugh, right? And then I'll say something like, I'm looking to reach a promotion in my real estate business, and I just need to help a couple more people. Do you know by any chance anybody who might need assistance with real estate? And what happens is, with most people want to help people. So if you ask me for a favor, I'm going to want to help you, and vice versa. So from that point forward, I use the favor, help, try method to see who I can help. And in return, people are helping me. I'm able to grow my contact list to potentially more than 100, and then help actually people within the real estate business. So that's something that I'll do. In addition to that, I mentioned before, network is net worth. So how can we strengthen the network is by communicating, going out to shops and meeting people, maybe church or maybe different recreational spots. I know pickleball is very big here in Florida. There's a lot of people that, just naturally, you have a natural conversation. And hey, what do you do for a living, Vinod? Oh, well, you know what? I'm actually in real estate. Oh, nice. Oh, you know what? I actually have a friend that's looking to move over here. And boom, just out of natural conversation, something can just transpire. And it's happened to me on several occasions. So just don't be shy, or don't just stay in a bubble. If you're in real estate, you have to know how to communicate. You have to get uncomfortable in the beginning, and then eventually, like the other panelists here, you'll have a referral business that's just going to come your way.
Awesome. That is again golden nuggets, my friend. Thank you very much for sharing all this. Communicate more, which is great, and asking for favor. Yeah, I never thought about this, that most people really wants to help, because that is a feeling that if we really want to help people, and there are more people like us as well. So yeah, you rightly mentioned network is your net worth. So I believe we have to communicate more and more. So everything is already explained by our panelists, but for me as well, if I have to go back and start this journey all over again, I'll jump over my online presence in a more quicker way, in a more better way. And like in the beginning of my career, I was not fully consistent, but now we have to be always consistent, and we have to be always doing no matter what. So small things, if we do every day, will bring more results. And as you rightly mentioned, so we have to get comfortable of being uncomfortable. This is, I personally believe, when I started my video making journey. So I was very uncomfortable. Everybody was saying it's too hard, you can't do it. But slowly and steadily, I believe, if you check out all these people, big agents in the industry, they started from scratch someday. So it's never too late, guys. As Donald also mentioned, that we have to start whenever we can. Thank you very much. All right, guys, those are amazing points. So this is again a very good question, because right now the market is in a transition phase all over America and Canada, I believe. So it's basically a mindset question. Okay, so how do you stay mentally focused and motivated during slower months or when deals are not happening? Because this will give insight into resilience and mental strategies which you guys are using to stay on track. So how do you stay mentally focused and motivated? We'll start with Carla now. Carla, can you hear me, Carla? All right, so let's move on to Gisela.
All right. I stay mentally focused. So let's think about that.
Yeah.
I'm in a lot of, my faith is my cornerstone. Like when you think about it, I'm a big prayer warrior. So I go to God every morning, all throughout my day. And I really just ask for wisdom in that from him. And so no matter what type of market we have, whether it's a thriving market, a slow market like how it is right now, but I have a lot of inventory, I'm always in contact with him. I'm like, Lord, I need you to come and help me sell these properties, because I can't do it by myself. I basically need a little miracle here. But that's how I keep my mindset. I also listen to a lot of podcasts. A podcast helps me with really putting the right stuff into my mindset. And I watch what I listen to. I watch what I watch on TV, and what it's like eating. Whatever we put into our bodies, it's going to make an impact. So I also, the moment I hear negativity around anybody, whether it's a group setting, I really try to cut it off, or I walk away, because we have to protect our mind. Our mind is the most valuable thing that we have, the most valuable piece of real estate, I like to say, that we own. And it's the smallest amount. So we have to protect it, because if not, the news, negative people, TikTok, whatever the case is, will try to tell you elsewise. And then all of a sudden you think you're not good enough. You think you can't achieve it. So you really have to protect that. And, first of all, like I said, go to God for everything and he will direct your steps. And that has been the huge game changer in my entire industry and in my life.
Awesome. That is again great. So prayer warrior. Amazing.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Gisela. It's really very insightful. God helps and miracles, they do happen. And I believe the same. So amazing. All right. Okay, so let's ask the same question to Donald.
Yeah, basically you're touching on, what is your why? Why did you get into the business? It was funny, when I started, I was in a group of people, and probably 35 people sitting there as their orientation class. And they said, why did you get in? Why did you get in? Why did you get in? And you heard everything from, I love people, I want to help people, I like charity. And I stood up and said, I want to make $100,000 a year. And they looked at me like I was from Mars. And that was back in 2003. So that's like the equivalent of 300,000 today. Right. And the teacher was thinking, oh, nobody's going to make more than 25 grand in the room. And that immediately told me that I was going to make 100.
Right.
But so you got to have belief in yourself. To me, it's all about routine. You get up, you do the same thing every day. There's a Bible verse that talks about one man builds a tower without counting the cost. So I kind of think of that a lot. Don't get into real estate thinking you're going to be a real estate hobbyist and make a lot of money. You're going to have to work this thing like a dog and then figure out how to maintain that and continue to grow as the years keep going on. So that's my viewpoint of it. Is my wife's 100% on board with me. We both know our roles in the business. She kind of like does the paperwork, the back office, and I am the hunter, gatherer, and closer.
Amazing, Donald. Amazing. That is great. I mean, this is work like a dog. Yes, that is see now. So this is your. I always say similar like this. This is not just a profession. This is a passion. So if you're not passionate, so I believe real estate industry is not for those people. I'm so sorry for this, but yes, it's not just a hobby or just a profession. It should be a passion. So we both align on this, that work like a dog. I made my point now. That's amazing. Oscar, what would you like to add, my friend?
Hey, Vinny, can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, so my question was, how do you stay mentally focused and motivated during these, slow season when these are not happening?
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, pretty much like Mother Nature, right? We have spring, we have summer, we have fall, then we have winter. So the reality is nothing is ever a high on a roller coaster, right? We always got to go through the bottom, then continue back up. So it's just understanding the game of life, that if you're down right now, you're not going to be down forever. You just got to put your seatbelt on, stay ready, and once that roller coaster starts to pick up again, then enjoy the ride. I understand that a lot of people might go through negative things, like I said earlier, but it's having long-term vision, pretty much what I'm trying to say. If you keep doing the right thing, if you keep showing up, eventually things are going to start to fall into place, and your winning season is just around the corner. You just got to continue to show up and have a long-term vision mindset.
Awesome. That is great. A game of life, and keep your seat belt on, which is great, right? Thank you very much for sharing all these insights. So that's all amazing.
So good.
Can we hear everybody okay? Yeah. All right. So I believe,
Yeah, I can.
we have few minutes more. So this is a very small question. Anybody can answer on this one. Okay. What's one thing you all do with full consistency on your social media that has directly contributed to your business growth? What's one thing on your social media you do every day which drives engagement and leads? Any sort of one thing which anybody would like to add here?
Yeah, I'll jump in here real quick. I think right now we're living in 2025, like you said, Vinod, and there's a lot of eyes on social media, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. There's eyes everywhere. So there's also digital networking, and that's something that everybody should be taking advantage of. One thing that I do consistently is, even if I had no motion right now, I would go to an open house. I would request a showing, perhaps to my virtual client that I currently don't have, but I'm trying to create. And I'll go record a new construction home, and I'll just show real estate to the world, because a lot of people might be stuck at their job and they might not know what you know. But if you continuously put it out there, people will eventually associate real estate with your name. And the more people make that connection, then referrals come a lot easier. So definitely post on your stories, do reels, follow people on Instagram that are getting engagement, not just followers on their posts. Um, and definitely look to create posts and just reels on stories and on whether it's short form or long form on YouTube. Definitely put yourself out there, because, like you said, artificial intelligence is here, and now it's just going to go to a whole nother level. So don't get left behind, participate, and let's work together.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. What would you like to add, Donald, on this one here? Anything you want?
Yeah, I do all the, and it's funny. I fought Facebook when it first came out. It took me like 3 years to get on board because I'm like, who cares if I'm cooking eggs at 7 in the morning? And that was the mindset back when it first came out. So I'm looking at it from the 22-year prism that I've been in. And so nowadays, of course, I understand that everything, all of them are important. But what I try to do is put like 5 times a week original content, because I don't like it when the lender sends out something and it's the exact same message by 7 separate different mortgage people. So you want original content.
Original content, which makes 100% sense. And as you rightly mentioned, that 5 times in a week. So I believe algorithms, they also work in that way, that if you are putting it, at a regular point of time, so definitely your content go higher in the ranking. So which makes 100% sense. All right, Stella, what would you like to add? What
Sure.
would you like to do on social media with full
Yeah,
consistency?
I just post who I am. I post, what I'm doing. If I'm on my way to drop off CMA, I post that. If I'm doing a home inspection, I quickly do a quick video with a home inspection guy, and it's very raw. I don't try to make it perfect. If I'm putting open house signs, I talk about how it's 115 degrees. So I try to let everybody that is my friends on Facebook or on social media know that, hey, I'm out there working no matter what it is. I'm also involved in sharing with my family, who I am as a person. So people get to know the entire package of Gisela. I don't try to be too perfect, but I also am very careful with what I do put out there. Stories is huge. I see that I have tons of people viewing my stories, and they eventually come to your Facebook. Even if I don't see a like, I know that they're there watching or looking at it. So that's been good. And it's free advertisement. Make sure you do that and just have fun with it.
Awesome, awesome. So I also believe the same thing. Perfection is the enemy of progress, right? Done is better than perfect.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. All right,
So
Carla,
good.
Carla, what would you like to add here, my friend?
Yeah, so
I think for social media, I agree with what everybody's saying, just being like raw. If you don't have a listing or if you don't have a buyer, there's a ton of pre-construction development, or you can go visit their sales gallery and start doing some creative content and just putting it out there, because a lot of people don't know, that the communities that are coming about in the different cities. So that's one way of you getting out there without having to really have a listing or a buyer or anything. And then two, I personally started real estate as an investor. And what I've been doing recently, because I want to create that impact, is going back to my buyers or my clients or my circle of influence, even in social media, letting them know that it doesn't matter if you're not ready to like buy your first home, because sometimes they grow with this mentality that they want to buy their perfect home, but they can start as investors. And for example, today I'm here in Costa Rica, taking this call because I've been able to build, a portfolio of real estate properties that is actually helping me pay for this vacation. So when you shift the narrative of just like buying your first home because it's your first home, and switch it to, hey, I want to start investing in real estate because it can create financial freedom for me and I can do all these things that I love, then you start shifting the mindset of your potential client, your potential buyer, right? So I think we have to show more of that. I'm sorry, I'm sharing this as well from my trip here in Costa Rica, so that people can start shifting their mindset, especially in a market like today, where a lot of people are holding on the sidelines. Normal, regular first-time home buyers are holding, but that's where the opportunity lies for a lot of people that want to jump in and take advantage of deals. So you have to create the opportunities, and I think that's huge, and we have to share that information and knowledge with our potential clients.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. A big round of applause to everybody. Huge, huge thanks to all our amazing panelists for the value you shared today. I made my notes, and actually to everyone who joined us. We appreciate your time and energy, guys. Let's keep growing, learning, and staying iconic together. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. God bless all.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Amazing call.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining today. If you're watching this on YouTube, smash that like button and we'll be back.